So, what if I told you there's a blueprint to go from 0 to 10 crores, a path to financial freedom built by a regular, salary person just like you or me? No lottery wins, no big startup exits. We're going to break down exactly how it was done step by step.
10 crores. Just let that number sink in for a second. That's the Corpus a tech professional from Pune, a guy named Amit Upadhyaya, actually built. Enough to achieve complete financial independence before he even turned 50. It's a massive, almost unbelievable number, right? So the big question is, how on earth did he pull it off?
And this is where the story gets really interesting. Because Amit himself says, hey, I didn't do anything that special. Anyone can probably do this. That's kind of mind-blowing, isn't it? It just makes you wonder, if what he did wasn't exceptional, then what was the system? What's the secret sauce? Okay, so first things first. Before you can even start a journey, you need a destination. You need a target number. And it can't just be a number you pluck out of thin air. It has to be precise, calculated, and based on the real world you live in.
Now, you've probably heard of the famous 4% rule, right? The idea that you need a corpus that's 25 times your annual expenses. Well, here's the catch. That rule was made for Western economies. In India, with our higher inflation, that rule just breaks. It's not safe enough. To be truly secure, you've got to be more conservative. You need the 3% rule.
So this 3% rule gives us a new, much safer formula. Your target is 33 times your yearly expenses. Let's do the math. Say your expenses are 30 lakhs a year. You multiply that by 33 and boom, there's your number, 9.9 crores. All of a sudden, that vague dream becomes a concrete goal you can actually aim for. And if you think we're just splitting hairs, check this out. This is why being conservative is so important. In a simulation Amit ran, a portfolio that grows at 11% a year lasts a lifetime, but drop that growth by just 1%. Just one, down to 10%, and the whole thing crashes and burns. The margin for error is razor thin. You have to plan defensively. Okay, so you have your target. Now for the really hard part, right? How in the world do you build up that kind of money on a regular salary? Well, it's all about creating a powerful, consistent savings engine. The secret starts with a simple but super powerful mental shift. See, most of us think income minus what I spend equals my savings, whatever's left at the end of the month, right? The blueprint flips that completely on its head. It's income minus your savings goal equals what you have left to spend. You pay yourself first, every single time. Now, saving is great, but what happens when the market crashes, like it did in 2020? That's a massive opportunity, but you need cash ready to go. So where does a normal salaried person get a big pile of cash that's both safe and liquid? Keeping it in a savings account just feels wasteful. And here it is. This is the genius hack. The secret weapon that Amit used was his home loan. Specifically, a home loan with an overdraft facility, or an OD account. Seriously, for anyone with a home loan, this is a total game changer. So here's how this little trick works. You take any extra cash you have and just park it in this OD account. Right away, that money works to reduce your loan principal, which means you save a ton on interest. But, and this is the magic part, that money isn't locked up. It's totally liquid. You can pull it out whenever you want. It's an emergency fund and an opportunity fund all rolled into one. It's exactly how Amit was able to grab 50 lakhs and pour it into the market when it crashed. Brilliant. All right, so your savings engine is humming along. You've got your opportunity fund ready, but saving alone won't get you there. The real wealth, the big growth, happens when you start investing. And this isn't about day trading or chasing hot tips. It's about becoming an investor with real conviction. Let's just look at the incredible story of his biggest investment, TVS Motors. He started buying way back because he loved their bikes, he understood their business, and he'd done his homework. But then, between 2018 and 2020, the stock got absolutely hammered. It fell by more than half. Most people would have panicked and sold, right? But his belief was in the business, not the daily stock price. So he held on, and he even bought more. And wow, did that conviction pay off? But, and this is so important, conviction is not the same as blind faith. The other side of knowing when to hold your winners is knowing with ruthless honesty when it's time to cut your losers. A lot of the time, winning is simply about not losing big. This shows you the two sides of that coin perfectly. With TVS, the business was still strong, so he held tight through the storm. But with a stock like Just Dial, he realized the world had changed. Its business model was being disrupted by new tech. The moment he lost faith in the business itself, he got out. No waiting, no hoping to break even. He cut his losses and saved that money for a better opportunity.
Amit has this absolutely brilliant analogy for this. He says holding on to a losing stock is like betting on a lame horse. It's just never going to win the race. The smart play is to admit you made a mistake and immediately move your money to the horse that's actually leading. Okay, so let's pull all of this together. Let's distill all these incredible lessons into a final blueprint, a kind of toolkit you can use to start thinking about your own journey to financial freedom. Let's be really clear about something. Direct stock investing is hard. It takes a ton of time, research, and emotional control. It's not for everyone, and that's totally okay. For the vast majority of people, taking a smart, systematic approach with mutual funds is a much simpler and honestly more effective way to build wealth. But with thousands of funds out there, how do you even choose? Well, here's a logical way to do it: a funnel. Start with the top performers over the last 10 years. Then, weed out the ones with high fees or a revolving door of managers. After that, dig into the stats that show how they perform versus their risk. And for the final few, really try to understand the fund manager's core philosophy. It's a structured way to find the gems. When you boil it all down, it really comes back to these core ideas. Plan for the worst-case scenario with the 3% rule. Always save first. Remember, you have to keep earning more. You can't just invest a small amount and expect miracles. Cut your losses and leave your ego at the door. And maybe the biggest one of all, learn to detach emotion from your money. It's just a tool. And that really brings us to the whole point of this. The goal of FIRE, maybe the RE shouldn't stand for retire early. A much better way to think about it is reinvent excitement. Financial independence isn't about sitting on a beach doing nothing. It's about having the absolute freedom to do the work you love on your own terms without ever worrying about the paycheck. So, we'll leave you with this question. Amit built a blueprint that worked for him, for his life. His journey gives us the principles, the hacks, the mindset. Now, it's your turn to take these ideas and ask yourself, what does my blueprint for freedom look like?